You could be the most beautiful woman in the room, the most attractive, the most accomplished, but if you ignore these 4 rules, men will forget you the moment someone new walks into their life. And here's what might shock you. The women men secretly miss, the ones they cannot stop thinking about months or even years later, are not necessarily the ones who love them the most. They are the ones who understood something about male psychology that most women completely overlook. Stay with me because what I am about to tell you might make you uncomfortable. But it is the absolute truth. The women men obsess over, lose sleep over, and secretly compare every other woman to are not the ones who gave them everything. They are the ones who gave just enough while keeping something sacred for themselves. And once you understand these 4 rules, you will never have to wonder again why some women become unforgettable while others become easy to replace. What if I told you that the reason men move on so easily has nothing to do with how much you love them and everything to do with how you love them? That the very habits you thought showed your devotion are actually what made you forgettable. Today we are going to uncover 4 psychological triggers that create the kind of longing in men that lasts for years, not just days. But here is the catch. These rules require you to do the exact opposite of what every romantic movie has ever taught you. Before we get into these 4 rules, let us clear something up. Being missed is not about playing games or being manipulative. It is not about holding back your love or creating unnecessary drama. It is about understanding that the human heart values what it has to work for and takes for granted what comes too easily. Most women have been taught to believe that love means total availability, full transparency, and endless giving. But here is what years of studying human psychology has shown. The women who stay in men's minds long after the relationship ends are the ones who kept their mystery, protected their energy, and never made loving them feel like a guaranteed thing. Men do not miss women who made their lives easier. They miss women who made their lives more interesting. They do not long for the ones who fixed all their problems. They think about the ones who pushed them to become better at solving those problems themselves. Think about the last person you could not stop thinking about. I promise it was not someone who told you everything about themselves on the first date. It was not someone who picked up every single time you called. It was someone who left you wanting more, someone whose depth you felt you were still finding out. And that is exactly the energy these 4 rules are designed to help you build. Not by changing who you are, but by becoming so secure in who you are that you stop needing anyone else to confirm your worth. The first rule is this: never make loving you feel inevitable, and this one is big. The fastest way to become forgettable is to make a man feel like your love is guaranteed no matter what he does. When you are always available, always understanding, always ready to forgive without him having to earn it back, you are not being loving, you are being predictable, and predictable is the enemy of passion. Here is what most women do not understand about how men think. Men are naturally driven to pursue, to win, to earn what they truly value. When you remove all effort from loving you, you also remove all the satisfaction that comes with it. This does not mean being cold or difficult in a manipulative way. It means understanding that love should feel like a privilege, not an automatic right. When a man knows that no matter how he acts, no matter how little he puts in, your love will always be there unchanged. That love loses its power to inspire him. The women men miss are the ones who made their love feel earned, not assumed. They were warm and affectionate, but that warmth felt special because it was not given to everyone all the time. Think of it this way: when something is rare, we treasure it. When it is everywhere, we waste it. When your love and energy feel endless and unconditional without any reason, they become less meaningful to the person receiving them. But when a man feels your love is something beautiful he gets to experience because he is worthy of it, that love becomes precious. He works to keep it because he understands it is not permanent if he does not value it. And this is why men miss the women who had real standards, not impossible ones, not gameplay ones, but clear expectations about how they needed to be treated. These women did not threaten their way into being respected. They simply showed through their actions that love without respect was not love at all. When you make loving you feel like a sure thing, you train a man to take you for granted. When you make it feel earned, you train him to value you. Men do not miss what they stopped caring about. They miss what made them feel like they were worthy of something rare. Now stay right here because the second rule is where most women go completely wrong without even realizing it. Rule number 2, keep your own world intact. The women men cannot forget are the ones who made their world better, not the ones who gave up their own world to live inside his. When you make a man your entire universe, you do not become more important to him. You actually become smaller. You become someone who needs him to feel whole instead of someone who chooses him from a place of completeness. Most women, when they fall in love, start making themselves smaller. They cancel plans with friends to stay available for him. They stop doing the hobbies that used to bring them happiness. They put aside goals that once excited them. They think this shows how committed they are. But what it actually shows is dependency, and dependency is not attractive. Independence is men do not miss women who made them the center of their whole world, because there is no mystery in that. No discovery, no depth left to explore. When your entire sense of self becomes wrapped up in being someone's girlfriend, you lose the very qualities that made you attractive in the first place. But here is what happens when you keep your own world alive. You stay interesting because you are always growing, always experiencing new things, always bringing fresh energy with you. You become someone he wants to keep discovering rather than someone he has already completely figured out. The woman who keeps her friendship strong, chases her passions, and keeps building her own life does not become less available for love. She becomes more magnetic because she is choosing to share her full and rich life with someone rather than making that person her entire reason for being. This is why men miss the women who had their own goals, their own circle of people, their own sources of joy. These women brought real stories to the relationship. They brought growth. They brought that exciting feeling of being with someone who was actively building something worth sharing. And when you keep your world intact, you also protect yourself from losing your identity in someone else's. You stay the same person he fell in love with. You love from overflow rather than from need. Men do not miss empty women who only existed to be filled by someone else's presence. They miss full, vibrant women who shared their wholeness generously but never drained themselves in the process. The third rule is the one that separates unforgettable women from forgettable ones, and it is the hardest one to actually do. Rule number 3, learn the art of emotional control. This does not mean being cold or hiding how you feel. It means understanding that emotional intensity should match emotional investment. It means knowing that sharing every feeling the second it hits you actually weakens its power. Women who stay in men's minds understand that emotions are like seasoning. A little bit improves everything. Too much ruins the whole thing. They do not pour every worry, every excitement, every emotional reaction onto a man the moment it happens. They understand that timing and proportion matter more than most people think. Most women, when they are falling for someone, want to share every single emotion as it comes. They want to process every feeling together, analyze every conversation, talk through every concern. They think this builds closeness, but what it actually builds is emotional overload. It makes the man feel responsible for managing not just his feelings but hers too. The women men miss are the ones who processed things internally first, then shared what genuinely mattered when the moment was right. They did not expect one person to be their therapist, their best friend, and their romantic partner, all at the same time. They understood that emotional independence is a huge part of what keeps real attraction alive, and this is the part most people scroll past. Do not skip this. This does not mean pretending to feel things you do not. It means that emotional maturity involves self-regulation. It means knowing that just because you feel something does not mean it has to be said immediately or at all. It means choosing your emotional moments carefully so they land with real impact. When you develop emotional control, your feelings carry far more weight when you do share them. If you are always expressing everything at full volume, nothing you say feels particularly meaningful anymore. But when you are generally composed and then you open up about something real, it feels important. It feels like a gift. Men miss women who made them feel trusted with deep feelings rather than buried under them. They miss women who shared their inner world carefully, making those moments of real closeness feel special rather than routine. Think about it this way. When someone tells you they love you after knowing you for a week, it does not really land. But when someone who rarely says those deep things tells you after months of real connection, it feels like everything. The restraint is what makes the expression so powerful. Women who understand this do not suppress their emotions. They choose when and how to show them. They feel everything deeply, but they share with intention. They save their most vulnerable moments for when they will truly be heard. And men do not forget women who made every emotional moment feel meaningful rather than overwhelming. Rule number 4, never be completely figured out. The women who stay permanently in men's memories are the ones who kept an element of mystery all the way through. Not because they were hiding things or being dishonest, but because they understood that being fully figured out is the end of fascination. When there is nothing left to discover about someone, there is nothing left to miss. Most women in their desire to feel close share everything, every story from their past, every thought as it arrives, every reason behind every decision. They think this creates intimacy, but what it actually creates is completion. And when a man feels like he has completely figured you out, his curiosity disappears. The women men cannot stop thinking about are the ones who revealed themselves in layers. They shared openly and generously, but they always kept something in reserve. Not because they were being secretive, but because they understood that mystery is what keeps someone invested in discovering more. This does not mean closing yourself off on important things. It means you do not have to explain every small habit, share every vulnerability, or give an opinion on everything to be real. It means some things are more beautiful when they come out naturally over time rather than being explained all at once. Do not go anywhere because this last point about mystery changes everything. The women men miss had real depth that was still being uncovered months into the relationship. They had layers, some easy to see, some that only came through in quiet moments, some that stayed beautifully unclear even to the people closest to them. When you are never completely figured out, you stay interesting. There is always something more to find, always another layer to explore, always that feeling that you are deeper and more complex than you first seemed. This keeps a man's curiosity alive and active rather than satisfied and wandering. Think about your favorite book or your favorite film. It is not your favorite because everything was explained in the opening. It is your favorite because it showed you its depth slowly, keeping you engaged and wanting to understand more. The same principle applies to attraction and memory. Men do not miss women who were open books from day one. They miss the ones who felt like fascinating stories they were still reading when things ended. They miss women who made them feel like there was always more to find, always another layer worth appreciating. And this rule also protects you from over-investing too fast. When you share everything at once, you become emotionally exposed before knowing whether someone deserves that level of access. But when you keep natural mystery, you protect your emotional energy while building real interest at the same time. Now, let us talk about why these rules actually work on a deeper level. Because understanding the reason behind them will help you use them in a way that feels genuinely like you and not like a strategy. The human brain is built to value what takes effort and to overlook what comes without it. This is a well-known idea in psychology. When we have to work for something, our brain tells us it must be worth it. When something is handed to us for free, we assume it is nothing special. This is exactly why men miss women who followed these rules. Loving them required real investment, real attention, and genuine effort. The relationship felt valuable because it had to be earned and kept up, not because it was guaranteed no matter what. Men also have a deep need to feel capable and accomplished in their personal lives. When you make loving you feel automatic, when you are always fully open, show no emotional control, and reveal everything instantly, you take away every opportunity for him to feel like he is actually succeeding in the relationship. You make it feel effortless, and that strangely makes it feel less rewarding. But when you apply these 4 rules, you create real chances for him to feel successful. He gets to feel like he is winning your attention when you respond to his genuine effort. He gets to feel proud when he earns your interest despite your full and busy life. He gets to feel trusted when you share something truly personal. He gets to feel special when he discovers something new about who you are. There is also a well-known idea in psychology that says we remember things that feel unfinished far better than things that feel complete. When you apply these rules, you create a kind of emotional incompleteness. He never feels like he has fully won you, fully understood you, or permanently secured your affection. This keeps you active in his mind rather than stored away as something he already has. Men do not miss women who made them feel finished. They miss women who made them feel like they were in the middle of something exciting that got interrupted, leaving them wondering what would have come next. Now, the biggest fear most women have about applying these rules is that they will have to become someone different. But that thinking is completely backward. These rules are not about changing who you are. They are about protecting who you are from being worn down by bad relationship habits. Being genuine does not mean sharing every feeling the moment it hits. It means being real when you do choose to share. Being present does not mean being available every single hour. It means being fully there when you do choose to show up. And having a sense of self does not mean having no standards. It means knowing yourself deeply enough to understand what you actually need in order to feel good. Start by looking honestly at your own patterns. Do you tend to drop everything the second someone shows interest? Do you share every emotion as it happens? Do you give your whole life story on early dates? Do you make your love feel guaranteed no matter how you are treated? If so, you are not being more real. You are being less careful with your most authentic self. The goal is never to become cold or unavailable. The goal is to become intentional about when and how you are available. It is to be thoughtful about what you share and when. It is to protect your energy while being generous with your real self. These rules work because they reflect genuine self-respect and emotional awareness. You are not pretending to have a full life. You are actually maintaining the one that makes you who you are. You are not faking emotional control. You are building real emotional maturity. You are not manufacturing mystery. You are protecting the natural depth that already makes you fascinating. When you apply these rules in an honest way, you do not become someone else. You become a stronger version of yourself. You love from a place of strength rather than neediness. You share by choice rather than compulsion. You give from a place of fullness rather than emptiness. Now, let me paint a real picture of what happens when a woman actually starts living by these 4 rules, because the change is remarkable and the results speak completely for themselves. Think about a woman who used to make herself entirely available the moment she felt any connection. She would cancel her own plans, share every feeling immediately, reveal her whole story within weeks, and make her love feel guaranteed no matter the effort. She was kind, she was genuine, she was loving, but she was also easy to forget. Men would enjoy her company, appreciate what she gave, and then move on without a second look. Then she learned these rules. She started keeping her own plans and staying connected to her own interests. She shared her emotions with real intention rather than the moment they came up. She revealed herself gradually rather than all at once. And she let her warmth feel earned rather than automatic. She did not become a different woman. She became a protected version of herself. And the results were both immediate and lasting. Men stopped taking her for granted and started genuinely valuing her attention. They stopped seeing her as simply convenient and started seeing her as genuinely captivating. They stopped forgetting her the moment she was out of sight and started thinking about her constantly when they were apart. Think about another woman who used to believe that love meant full emotional transparency and constant availability at all hours. She thought that showing restraint meant being fake. She thought that keeping mystery meant being dishonest. She thought that having real standards meant being difficult. She gave everything she had to every relationship and kept asking herself why men seemed to lose interest once they felt they had her completely. When she started applying these rules, she did not become cold. She did not become manipulative. She became thoughtful about her warmth. She did not stop caring. She started being selective about who received that care. She did not become secretive. She became deliberate about what she let people see. And the transformation was not just in how men responded to her, though that change was dramatic. The real shift was in how she felt about herself.